What's up, Descendants, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to talk about possibly the best LMG in the game. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight on with it. I am, of course, if you've not noticed by the thumbnail, talking about the Enduring Legacy. Not the easiest of ultimate guns to farm. It's a little bit of a pain, but it's absolutely worth getting yourself 5 copies of this so you can max it out. Let's take a look at it. Obviously, it's pretty damn sweet. I'll explain how I've got the stats to this in just a moment. But let's take a look at the unique ability, because that is absolutely part of the build that I have put together. So it says, on hitting an enemy, increase status effects trigger rate corresponding to the element. Fire, chill, electric, toxic. And inflicts the unique ability quenching to the target enemy. On hitting a burned enemy, increase firearm attack and apply this buff to the attack. Right, so awesome, absolutely great. Sounds like an absolute win. But we're going to pick fire, and the reason we're going to pick fire is if you see at the bottom here, it says on hitting an enemy inflicted with burn, firearm attack 11%. Now there's a couple of ways that we can make sure we always have fire on, and I'll go through that as well in just a second. But you can see here, when it's maxed out, the duration is 0.4 seconds. The maximum stack goes up to 50. It gives us some fire resistance and fire resistance per stack as well. Attribute status trigger effect rate is 6%. It's pretty much always on, which is absolutely great. And there's no drop off for it whatsoever. Right, we don't need to look at the history of the gun. But what I am going to do is we'll go into this bad boy here. Was there anything else useful there to look at? No, but we can look at that in a minute. Right, so this is what I've gone for, and this is pretty much what I think is good all around. So you could use this for pretty much anything and everything. But first of all, I'll show you what I've rolled in here. So you can see here we've got firearm critical hit damage at 40.3%. We've got the bonus attack versus Colossus, because I pretty much build all of my guns for bossing. The Colossus fights are really the main fights in the game. And you could take this off, but you barely notice any difference in dungeons or random open world activities. I really just think it's worth having the Colossus damage on, where it makes a significant impact rather than have a very small impact for something just in the open world or a dungeon. We're then going to put fire attack on there to make sure that we always have that quenching buff active all of the time. You can put it on with a mod, but I just kind of think that I can get more value out of a mod rather than put the fire attack mod on. Plus the fire attack mod requires a certain slot, and the other ones, if I wanted to swap it out for like toxic or ice or anything like that, they're all different types of slots, which makes building it within a mod particularly difficult. So I chose to put fire attack on here. I also got firearm critical hit rate on here as well. That would be yellow if it was 14.1. The maximum is 14.3. How at 14% it's not yellow, I don't know. It drives me crazy, but I am not re-rolling for the chance to get up to an extra 0.3% currently at the moment anyway, when resources are so expensive. Let's take a look at the mods that I ended up going with. So there's a couple of options that you can do along this as well, and I'll talk about them as well. So first of all, we've got action and reaction with the firearm attack of 61%, and it gives some recoil. Recoil you really don't notice on controller, all on mouse and keyboard. I play on both, and yeah, I really can't notice that at all. And then obviously there's rifle and reinforcement for 32% extra firearm attack. These two are pretty much go-to on every single gun. I would probably expect everybody to put these two on. We then have better concentration for critical hit damage, and we also have better insight here for firearm critical hit rate. Now, if you really wanted to put the fire mod on, you could switch out the better concentration because it's the same kind of slot, and that would work. I did test this on a Colossus, and actually the fire enhancement actually killed the Colossus 1 second quicker than having the critical hit damage on did. Now, that's the 1 second. I kind of think it's just not worth even. I kind of think it's better building for everything, right? Building globally. Obviously, you can use different settings here, and you could swap that in, you know, for if you wanted to have an extra fire on it. But obviously, some bosses are fire resistant. So I think at that point, then the critical hit damage is going to win out. So the fact that this was 1 second, you know, off, and that could have been my aiming at that point or anything like that. I just feel it's better to deal with critical hit damage, and then I don't have to worry about the mod slots, and I don't have to worry about the type of fire damage either or anything like that. This just seems to work better. We've got expanding the magazine by 49%. The reason for that is because an LMG has a long reload time, so the longer we're firing for, the more LMG damage that we're going to do. But also with Enzo, we can buff that mag massively. And I'm going to put out a video with 100% chance of critical hit every time you hit an enemy. It's wild. It's really, really good. This gun goes perfect with Enzo. I have actually maxed my Enzo out pretty much, which is a shame because he's not an ultimate Enzo and I'll have to do it all over again when that finally arrives. But for me, Enzo is probably one of the only characters with a non-ultimate that is worth actually leveling up and using. We're then going to take edging shot, firearm critical hit rate for 43% and firearm attack minus 15%. Now, we can switch this one out if we really wanted to. We could go with something like insight focus, but what I did find is I did more damage. And with Enzo, I can only get to 85 or 86% critical hit chance with insight focus. And although that number often looks orange when you're hitting, there are white numbers in there which lower the overall damage. So even though we're getting minus firearm attack here, I actually think it's absolutely worth going with edging shot, but you could go with insight focus if you were more comfortable with not taking that damage reduction. We are then going to go with the M here for 35% weak point damage, which I think is absolutely worth it. You could go with this one here for extra weak point damage if you wanted to take the extra accuracy bonus. In already taking, you know, negative effects in some of my other mods, as you can see here, like the firearm attack, we're also going to take the reload time modifier here, and we're also going to take negatives there. I really just felt like not taking another hit on another negative with insight focus, but you could absolutely switch that out to insight focus if you wanted to. Right, okay, so that's the weak point one. Then we're going to go with concentration priority for firearm critical hit damage for 120%. Reload time modifier is particularly horrible with this because it's an LMG, but 120% critical hit extra damage is just way too much to give up. This mod is just too good. Then I've gone with fire rate up. Now, these two mods, I have basically over the last couple of days gone over what to run in these two slots. Now, I can quite easily switch this fire rate up out for fire rate concentration. And I'm not going to lie to you, up until about an hour ago, that's exactly what I was doing. Because you get fire rate 20% and you also get firearm critical hit damage. But I was running real life fighter in my mods, and I run that in a couple of my other guns as well. But the accuracy bonus of minus 20% was really hurting because I obviously have, you know, other negative effects in here as well. And it was just really, really hurting because you can see here, real life fighter gives you minus 20% accuracy, you know, and with the recoil and everything, it just felt like this gun was becoming too much of a spray and pray kind of affair. So I end up changing to sharp precision shot. It takes the fire rate down 20% initially, but while pulling the trigger, it gives me fire rate of 4%, minus 5% recoil, and firearm attack for 6% every 0.5 seconds, up to 10 stacks. So you actually end up with a 20% extra fire rate because obviously, you know, you get 4% every 0.5 seconds. You get 10 stacks at 4%, that's 40%. So you actually end up with, so the negative effect on this mod isn't terrible. Whereas if you look at real life fighter, it's just minus 20% no matter what. Now with my Thunder Cage up close and personal, that really didn't matter at all. It was absolutely fine. And this ends up doing more damage. But although this would do more damage on the LMG, I was just so fed up of not being able to hit things from long distance. I decided to go with this. And like I said at the beginning of this video, overall, this setup just felt better. Now I could drop again, like I said, into this one here for 5% less critical, fire rate, and take some extra critical hit damage. But our critical hit damage is already 194%, as you can see on the left hand side. And I just kind of think that, you know, so we can, I'll show you. So let's go out, save it, and then go back in because it doesn't refresh. So you can see then we can get 200%. But our fire rate is 20%, and then we know we're gonna lose that 20% because of this mod. So hang on, is that actually included, or is it only when you start firing? Let's just check. Yeah, so it's not included. So we're going to lose fire the 20% straight away from, you know, from activating this mod. But we are going to get the 20% back at the end of it. But I just kind of thought, like, the extra fire, you know, like most games, you know, attack is the best form of defense. And if they're already dead because you've managed to shoot and kill them quicker, it tends to just work out. Now, as you can sort of see at the side there, you can see here that the stats are really good. 82% critical hit rate, and that's with any buffs whatsoever. And that's why I absolutely recommend this to build this gun out like this, because even if you're not using it on Enzo that can get this to 100% critical hit rate, it hits crits a lot of the time. It's absolutely wild. So for instance, let's just go up to this guy here. So you can see now no Enzo buffs at all, and just look at all the orange numbers. It hits them a lot. And then obviously if I use my Enzo buffs, it's all orange all the time. The white number you're seeing is from the skill, but every gun hit, it's just absolutely wild. So yeah, that's the way I would recommend doing it. My Enzo's half baked, and if you wanted like a, you know, obviously Devourer is the easiest farm in the game right now. But you can see here, I'll probably do this in about 12 seconds with a half-baked Enzo. I've got about 4 mod slots left to mod up yet. And yeah, it just works out really, really well. This video is getting too long, so feel free to tune out at this point if you want to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because you know how this is exactly how this is going to go. Do look out for the Enzo build over the next couple of days. I'm hoping to get him finished. I also have a Greg's video as well. You can see that on my back. I've been working hard to get that up and running as well. Well, this guy's dead easy. You just shoot the knee. He's just killed my time. And that's it. 29 bullets still left. He even messed me up because he slapped me. But if you want to farm red mods for combining, like, this is just, it's just easy, right? It doesn't need to necessarily be the fastest. You don't have to worry about skills or anything like that. We'll hit F2. We'll have a look at how quick did we do it. Yeah, 12 seconds. So that's actually as quick as I did it with the fire mod that I was talking about before. It was 13 seconds last time I did it. And he swiped me. So you can probably get that down to about 10 if you really, really want to. But yeah, it's just really, really good. Now, one thing that I did want to show, I haven't tried this yet, and by all means I know people might actually tune out by now, is obviously, you know, Enzo is a firearm character, so obviously he's going to do well with a firearm gun. But what I haven't tried, and I'm going to do this live on the video now, is let's switch to bunny. Right, I have a maxed out bunny. Apply presets. And change Descendant was really a task to do. And I just wonder if the power of a gun can carry a Descendant, is what I'm worried about. Well, not worried about it. I think that's pretty good, right? Because if everyone farms this gun, it means that they can, you know, do well, you know, in all battles. Right, so what I won't do is I won't use any of my bunny skills. This guy is weak to electric anyway, so that would give me a, you know, pretty unfair advantage. But I wonder if I just go in and just cap him in the knee. Can we kill him before he gets off his skills? Ready, bro? Maybe not. Take him down, take him down, take him down. We need to reload. Come on, reload, quick, quick. If I was using my bunny skills, I reckon we would. Gonna get peed. Ah, okay. Maybe if I had shot some of the other weak points, would have been alright. Or maybe if I actually use my electric skills. I don't even know. Oh, I don't even know if I got my bunny boss build on or not. That reload. Yeah, so yeah, still pretty damn good, even on a character that is not built for firearm. My bunny's built completely for skill damage, as you'll see in my previous video. But yeah, this gun really does put in the work on half-baked characters, and even on a bunny that is not built for any firearm damage whatsoever. And if I had played it a bit smarter and gone for the other weak points, I probably could have got him down. That's going to be it for the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Join the Discord as well if you fancy it. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Goodbye.